to our classmates. Prof. Richie's sermon, A Stunning Day. Currently, we're going to present the lesson 7, which is Bonsai by Edith Tiempo. But before we start, allow me to introduce Raulito Luon, Emil Macalood, Clint Morgan Madelo, Gio Carlo Maglasang, Carl Antoinette Mingo, Jose Antin Jr., Ryan Joshua Lau, and I, Cheryl Lawas, the presenters. Without further ado, let's get started. The objectives. We define formalism, review the typical question that critics ask when reading literature using formalist approach. Select questions appropriate for a poet's read Bonsai by Edith Tiempo and interpret Bonsai using a formalist approach. Definition of formalism. Formalism is an approach that concerns primary with form as its name suggests. Thus, it places the greatest emphasis on how something is said rather than what is said. Formalists believe that a word is simply entity, not at all dependent rather upon the author's life or the culture on which the work is created. It means also that external agents outside of the text are not taken into consideration. All things about culture, politics, and the author's intent or societal influences are excluded from formalism. It is also brings attention to the structural tendency within a text or across text, such as genre and categories. Formalism is based on analysis of a text rather than a discussion on issue more distant from the text. Next, please.
Rolito Loon, how do the various elements of the work reinforce its meaning? When you are reading, you encounter various story elements such as plot, setting, character, conflict, and theme. While each element is individually essential to the story, how they interact with one another is even more important to what happens and how the story ends. What recurring patterns, repeated or related words, images can you find? What is the effects of these patterns or motif? Motif are simple words that is repeated throughout the text that can symbolize something. How does repetition reinforce the theme? The repetition can help reinforce theme and motif in the mind of readers and make more evocative and emotionally impactful. Next.
Hi, my name is Emil, the next reporter. How does the writer's diction or reveal or reflect the work's meaning? It is the selection and arrangement of word within a poem. The speaker is expressing her approach of dealing with her emotions. She attempts to minimize her emotion in order to make them more controllable. Thus, she names this weird custom bonsai after the tree that is cultivated to remain small. The speaker also expresses her emotion through items that can be folded and stored in small spaces, and she frankly confesses that the goal of such strange behavior is to obtain heart control. Next.
So, what is the effect of the plot and what part specifically produce the effect? And what figures of speech are used? Metaphor, similes, hyperbole, personification, etc. What how does the writer use paradox, irony, symbol, plot, characterization, and style to enhance the story? So, causation or cause and effect is simply an action with a reaction. When an event occurs, its effect impacts the course of the story, often the changing the character or later events of a story dramatically. Cause and effect are also very important to plot, moving the action forward. Figures of speech are generally classified in five major categories: figures of resemblance or relationship, Example, simile, metaphor, hyperbole, conceit, conceit, personification. And irony is a multi-faceted literary device that a writer used to point out the discrepancy between reality and how things appear or what was expected. So next.
Hi guys, I'm back. Is there a relationship between the beginning and the end of the story? What tone and mood are created at various parts of the work? How does the author create tone and mood? What relationship is there between tone and mood and the effect of the story? The beginning and the end of the story are linked because this is how the context of the story operates. If they are not linked, the readers would most likely not recognize the purpose of the entire story. Equivalent to the mood it creates in the reader. Poet uses words and images to create mood. Elements in a poem that stimulate the reader's interest. It is the use of words to create mental pictures or images. There are five senses that are stimulated, which are scent, sight, hearing, taste, and touch. The qualities such as scent, sound, colors, and taste help to generate vivid ideas. The figures of speech are used by writers to generate powerful images. Next.
I'm Carlo Maglasang. I'm the second reporter. Uh, Questions appropriate for a formalist reading for a bonsai by Edith Tiempo. First question is, how does the author create tone and mood? What relationship are there between tone and mood and the effects of the story of the bonsai? Next.
Hi, my name is Carl Antoinette Maningo. Continuation of questions appropriate for a formalist reading of Bonsai by Edith Tiempo. Second, how does the writer of Bonsai story diction reveal or reflect the work's meaning? Third, is there a relationship between beginning and the end of the Bonsai story? Next.
Bonsai. All that I love, I fold over once, and once again, and keep in a box, or a slit in a hollow post, or in a my shoe. All that I love? Why? Yes, but I, for the moment, and for all time both, something that folds and keeps easy. Son's not or dad, one greedy tie, a little picture of a queen, a blue Indian swirls, even a money bill. Next, its author, sublimation of this heart control, moment to moment to slap down to a cupid hand size, till his shells are broken pieces from God's own bright teeth, and life and love are real things you can run and breathless hand over to the merest child.
So, my name is Hussein Teng, the next reporter. The poem was entitled Bonsai because one loves just a something that could be kept much like a bonsai. This poem Bonsai is about how love is simplified and reduced so that one can give it out to others. Since since this love is now compacted or shrunk down to something small that can be given, it's a much like a bonsai, which a simplified version of a huge and enormous tree that could be given away and handed over the others. Thus, this love is now being passed down to generation. So, formalist approach of bonsai. Bonsai Edith Tempo's masterwork depicts a not so ordinary, short of love, one has been reduced down to the size of the cupped hand. A love poem on how people want to represent their love for someone through object and how that begin by folding a shrinking the size of the items she keeps close to her heart in order to secure and keep them. The second stanza, on the other hand, is where she begins to wonder how grateful she is to be able to keep clearly non-living object. Next.
Hi, my name is Ryan Joshua Lau. The poem's profoundness is a both sense of materialism and the real ideas of love. Bonsai was just a bundle of more than what idolizing and keeping materials things can make us question ourselves. The deepness rather makes the general of what we want to cling on to and how we may and unsettle our lives. She claims to be figurative decreasing her emotions in order to make them more controllable. Consequently, she names her strange tradition bonsai after the small tree. The speakers express her emotions using items that can be folded and stored in small space. God's way is perfect. All the Lord's promise proved true. He is a shield for all who looks to him for protection. Psalms 18 verse 30. Thank you and God bless all.